But like I said, man, that energy in the South, it's been, I don't know what's going on, man. And then I was in Jacksonville, and then this white boy just come in there in the Dollar General that was right up the block from where I was at, 2-3 blocks, right up the block, and shoot up the joint. You know, uh, send your prayers out for that family. It's like I think 3 victims in that situation. Then there was another situation out of Bahama Breeze. But let me get into that story real quick. Because there's new evidence. I mean, new video of this white boy. And let me say this too, man. And this all jokes aside, this is dead serious time right here. Black people, nothing against anybody, any other race. I'm just a black man. So this has nothing to do with y'all, any other race, right? That's watching. Please don't be offended. Black people, we really need to start sticking together. We really need to start sticking together and holding each other down as a people. How many times are we going to sit here and watch some little white boy that's racist and mad at black people, whether he go to a school, whether he go to a church, whether he go to a Dollar General, and just murder us? If we don't show unity amongst each other, we are going to keep getting slaughtered out here. Do y'all understand that? Like, we taking each other out, or y'all taking each other out, because I ain't out here killing no black people. But y'all out here taking each other out when we need each other. We need all our soldiers. We need people to stand together. These people out here just killing us, bro, because of the color of our skin. Still, it ain't no ropes and lynchings. It's bullets. And if we don't start coming together and policing our community, this is going to continue to happen. Because if we was policing our community, we would know this motherfucker do not belong around here. Yo, what you doing? What you want over here? Because he tried to go to a school and shoot up the school first, but the security dude backed him down. So he went over to the Dollar General. And it was planned because he left a suicide note, and called Texas' father to tell him to go look at the note and this, that, and the third. But if we start sticking together and policing our neighborhoods and looking out for our own people in our neighborhoods to stop robbing and killing each other to where our own people are scared of us, we could prevent these type of things. Because when outsiders come into your neighborhood, it will be strange, and y'all will know it. And I got some deeper thoughts on this, but I don't want to say it here because then they might Martin Luther King my ass. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say it here, but I got some real great ideas in regards to something like that. But that's not none that I would say publicly, because then they would try to stop us from just being positive and making a movement of protecting our own neighborhoods. Because you see what the hell they did with the Black Panthers and everything else when they start taking care of our own. But it is very necessary for us to start checking the people that's doing wrong in our neighborhoods. You know, it got to be some people in your neighborhoods that is respected by the niggas in the streets, that they can sit down and talk to them and tell them, yo, man, y'all do what y'all do, but look, protect the people of this neighborhood. Bring down the crime in your neighborhoods and start policing your neighborhoods. Because if you don't, if you see what's going on, people are struggling. It's getting worse. And if you don't start protecting your neighborhoods, it's going to go from these stores, niggas running in these stores, robbing everything. After they figure out what they're going to do where people can't rob the stores no more, then it's going to be niggas' houses. Niggas going to be running up in niggas' houses for food and robbing. And if you don't protect your neighborhood, you're going to have outsiders coming in your neighborhood. And if you got people inside the neighborhood that think they're going to rob people within the neighborhood, you definitely need to start putting your people together. And y'all better start having neighborhood watches and neighborhood protections and neighborhood funding, where people in the neighborhood, when they don't have food, everybody chip in a little something and help the people that don't have, so they don't have to rob and steal. Community people, it got to be community help with one another, with each other. Now, I know this sounds far-fetched, but I think it can happen with the right people in certain places. Because can you imagine you just working at a Dollar General, or you if you at a Dollar General, it's because you really don't have it like that to go to Walmart or any of the, you're looking for discounts. If you working in Dollar General, you're not making nothing but minimum wage. So we all, and then you're in Jacksonville, where it's not Beverly Hills, where most of the people there are struggling and trying to make it. I seen it. I stood out there. I stood outside and watched people walk by. They don't even say hi to you out there. It's like New York. So imagine you're in this poverty area and a white boy just want to come through and kill people up because he having a fucking bad day. And take people's lives. Why? Because they think that we don't care for each other. Somebody said, we don't know what being racist is other than what we hear, so I think I can be taught ridiculous. If you don't know what racism is, if you don't like white people, you're a racist. If you don't like Latin people, you're a racist. If you judge white people, Latin people based on their appearance, you're a racist. If you're a black person, if you don't know what racism is. If you don't like Donald Trump just because you heard he was a racist, then you a racist. If you have no reason not to like him, he's done nothing to you and you just don't like him because his skin color, whether it's white or orange, whatever you want to call it, and you don't like him just based off you think that he don't like black people, he didn't do anything to you particularly, then you're a racist. Yes, that's what racism is. Judging people for their skin color and not knowing them. So let me get into this real quick. And once again, rest in peace to these people that lost their lives, man. I feel for them.
TK Waters giving an update on the deadly triple shooting at the Dollar General store.
Surveillance footage showing the shooter's movements, both at the Family Dollar and at Edward Waters University. I'll be sharing portions of that video footage with you shortly. First, I'd like to detail the complete timeline of the newly discovered information pertaining to the shooter's movements earlier on Saturday before he committed these atrocities. On 8/26 of 2023, at 11:39 and 04 seconds, the suspect's vehicle was seen exiting Clay County. At 12:23 and 13 seconds, the suspect pulls into the Family Dollar located at 1282 Kings Road. At 12:24 and 15 seconds, the suspect exits his vehicle and enters the Family Dollar. At 12:29 and 54 seconds, the suspect exits the business and returns to his vehicle holding a small shopping bag and enters his vehicle. At 12:31 and 8 seconds, First Coast Security vehicle enters the parking lot and parked in front of the business. At 12:31 and 20 seconds, the suspect exits his vehicle as FCS or First Coast Security passes him and opens his rear hatch. Meaning, when I say his, I mean the suspect. At 12:32 and 35 seconds, the suspect removes what appears to be a small bag from the rear compartment, closes the hatch, and re-enters the driver's seat of his vehicle. At 12:36 and 43 seconds, the suspect opens the driver door but remains inside of his vehicle. At 12:38 and 43 seconds, the suspect stays in his vehicle and closes the door back. At 12:39 and 08 seconds, the suspect backs out and leaves the parking lot. Note, First Coast Security is still in the parking lot when the suspect leaves. At 12:40 and 57 seconds, the suspect turns from Myrtle Avenue to eastbound on Kings Road. Now I'm going to show you portions of the video of newly discovered surveillance footage which captured the shooter's movements at the Family Dollar and at Edward Waters University. Also, I'm going to show you previously unreleased footage from inside Dollar General. This footage shows Jacksonville sheriff's officers inside the store after the shooter had begun his rampage. We also believe once those officers got inside is when that suspect decided to kill himself.
My bad, y'all. I said Dollar General, Family Dollar.
That's the suspect there entering the store with a mask on his face.
As y'all can see, they got cameras everywhere. So when they want to catch people, they really want to catch people, they can catch people. So when people are doing crime and they getting away, look how fast they caught this guy. Look how fast they obtained all these videos. So know when they want to catch somebody, they can. I think that's when he went to the school first, and the motherfucking police security pulled up on him, and he got up out of there. He almost had his ass, that police security.
So you notice the reaction. A gunshot rang out. They were taking cover. That's when we believe the suspect took his own life. So our agency will continue to diligently investigate these horrific crimes so that we can better understand both what happened. Likewise, I will continue to update the public on any developments in this investigation. While this is a dark time in Jacksonville's history, these senseless acts of violence do not define this great city or the people that live here. This person was not from Jacksonville. In this shadowed time, I am heartened by the unity, resilience, and resolve that our community has shown. I want to thank not only the people of Jacksonville, but people across the nation for outpouring of a love that you have shown our city and the strong support in our city while they hurt. Thank you for supporting the deceased victims and the loved ones. Hate has no place in Jacksonville, and I've said that several times, and I'll continue to say that. And based on the outpouring of support I've seen in the face of this tragedy, and I know that we are more connected than we are divided. Now I'll take any questions that you have.
Does it appear that he was going to take action at the Dollar Tree and the security guard there impeded that, or was he just stopping the shop?
When I'm looking at it, it doesn't appear to me that he wanted to face anyone that may cause him any issues. So it looks like he wanted to take action at the Family Dollar. That's what it looks like. And he did not, because I think he got impatient and got tired waiting.
So what did he buy there, or was it just a way to cover?
It's hard to tell. We don't know what he bought yet. The detectives are still going through all that stuff. This, like I said, this is unfolding. You know, they're unfolding all this information as the investigation continues to go on. And we're going to keep looking.
On the Dollar General, has that been turned back over to the business? Is it still actively a JSO scene at this point?
Do you guys know that? I'll get that answer for you, Scott.
Okay.
I'll get that for you.
And Sheriff, it appears obvious that he had already gotten back into his Honda by the time security showed up, so they didn't see the tactical vest, etc.
They did not. It doesn't appear they did. And I can tell you what helps me in this situation is that I don't believe, looking at that EWU was a target. You can see a vehicle when you first start watching that vehicle. You can see a red vehicle sitting next to his vehicle. Two young African-American, looks like males, got in that vehicle as he was sitting there. So it gives me some comfort knowing or believing that based off what we saw, him stopping at the Family Dollar, him working at a Dollar Tree previously, and then him going to Dollar General, that was his intent the entire time. Why? Sorry.
The seat's been released.
Yeah. Why? That store? Still hard to tell. That scene has been released, Scott.
Any word on, it has been released. Any
Yes.
word on the manifesto? Is that something that would be released or not?
Yeah, it's going to take some time. So our FBI partners are going through that with a fine-tooth comb, as we are. We want to make sure that there's no other actors. We don't think that there are. But also chase the intelligence to make sure that there's nothing out there rising up from this. We don't think so, but my pledge to this community is to be as transparent as possible. So as soon as we get to a point where we can release that, we'll do it. May take a week, may take 2 weeks. It's going to take a little while, but we plan to do that.
Pretty quickly on Saturday, you had said you felt that he appeared to have acted alone. Was the evidence? Is there a pretty preponderance of evidence that this was a kind of a lone wolf type thing?
Yeah. So there, in his writings, he indicated that he was by himself. He didn't, Scott. I'll tell you, he didn't like anyone. I mean,
what do you mean?
He didn't. I mean, he didn't like. You'll read. You read and you see things like, he may say that someone he was all right with, and then later on he'll say something disparaging about that group of people. He didn't like government. He didn't like left or right, if that's what we're talking about. He didn't like anything. So I'm sorry.
Sorry. Have you spoken with his parents?
The detectives have, the investigators have spoken with his parents.
You've been listening to Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters adhering to his policy of more transparency, giving us more details about the timeline of Saturday's mass shooting. And we learned and looking.
So the killing did happen at the Dollar General. I was right about that. I didn't know he stopped at the Family Dollar. But as you can see, he wasn't from the neighborhood. He wasn't for the neighborhood. So if like somebody said, I don't know where I seen it at. Somebody said either on Instagram or on YouTube that a white boy coming in our neighborhood ain't suspicious. We won't look at him as suspicious, but if we go in their neighborhood, they following us all around the store, this, that, and the other. Asian neighborhood, just hurry up and buy. This is what I'm talking about. We need to start fucking killing each other, beefing with each other. It's been years, decades, and we still taking each other out. When do we come together as a people and start protecting the community? If we was protecting the community and he came in there, people would have looked at him like he was crazy. Why you got on the mask anyway, nigga? Mask ain't even mandatory no more. So you suspect right there. And with the way white people are coming in black people neighborhoods and killing people, everybody should be on point at this point now. If a white person is in a black neighborhood, the way they killing people in churches like they did up in Buffalo, all these different places, niggas better start being on point. Start being on point. White boy, what you doing around here? Come here. Let's search you. Police in your own neighborhood. It ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. All you doing is saving your neighbors.
Of hate. We stand united with the good and decent people of this city. We reject this inexcusable violence, and this agency will not rest until this investigation is complete and every available avenue of accountability has been exhausted. Now, I'll be happy to answer any questions after we view this video. Again, the video is rather short because I don't think some of the things that are on there are appropriate for television. It's not meant to entertain or be insensitive to our victims and our victims' families. So I wanted the people to be able to see exactly what happened in this situation and just how sickening it is. I'll answer any questions if I can. Yes, sir. We have no information that he worked at that store.
Sheriff, we're hearing reports from witnesses that the gunman let two white women out of the store without firing them before he opened fire. Have you been able to confirm anything like that?
He from what I'm understanding from our lieutenant here, he let several people out of the store. Why, I don't know. Some of them were white, but I do believe there was a couple that were not.
Did he give a warning before he started shooting?
No, when you see him walk out on the sidewalk and he points that gun at that car, He fired 11 rounds at that car. He did not give any warning. He just did it.
And when he was inside the store, someone had told me that he'd said, if you don't want to die, then leave the store. Do you know if he said that?
Those are all statements that we're looking into and trying to confirm.
That nigga shot 11 rounds in somebody's car that was just sitting out there innocently, probably waiting for somebody to come out the damn store, man. They just be killing us, bro. You don't hear stories about black men going up in white places and killing up this is crazy, bro. This is crazy, man. And something happened over at the not Dollar Tree, pardon me. At the Bahama Breeze. It was another shooting the next day. Look at this, man. Yeah, it's I don't know what the hell's going on out here, bro.
Also developing tonight, police say there were gunshots this afternoon at St. John's Town Center. Social media was loaded with that. People were scared. They were worried. They were hearing about all this at the town center. Jacksonville Fire and Rescue say there was no injury. Nobody was hurt. Police had the Bahama Breeze restaurant, though, taped off this afternoon. JFRD and the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office have not provided much information, but First Coast News did speak with a worker at I Declare, which is next to Bahama Breeze, and he described to us what he heard and he saw.
My manager, he was telling us not to go outside because stuff was going down. I was at the bar, and then all you see our bar, the people outside at our patio, they just ran inside. They said shots were going off and stuff, and I actually heard like 2 of the shots go off. It happened out front in the Bahama area, I believe. There was like about 7 people they're saying, but yeah, yeah, pretty intense.
So we have reached out to JSO for more information about this, and we'll share updates when we hear back.
Gutierrez. And there are new developments in the racist shooting rampage at a store in Florida. A security guard from a nearby college campus is being hailed as a hero tonight for potentially preventing even more deaths. He spoke with our Gabe Gutierrez.
Before the gunman, seen here on surveillance video, walked into a Dollar General store in Jacksonville Saturday and killed 3 people. Tonight, police releasing new images of the moment he stopped in the parking lot of nearby Edward Waters University. And that's when a group of students flagged down a campus security officer.
I don't consider myself a hero.
Lieutenant Antonio Bailey quickly confronted the gunman, later identified as 21-year-old Ryan Christopher Palmeter.
He had on what appeared to be a tactical vest up under a shirt and mask.
Did you ever, in your mind, ever consider not confronting the suspect?
No, I did not. This is what we signed up for.
The gunman sped away and later opened fire at the Dollar General nearby before taking his own life. While the local sheriff says it's not clear that the gunman planned to target the university, the school's president has no doubt why he went there first.
Do you believe that if he had not confronted the suspect, do you believe that this attack would have been unfolded here on this campus?
I absolutely do.
Tonight, the FBI is investigating the shooting as a hate crime. The sheriff here says the gunman had written down racist rants. The victims, identified as Gerald Deshaun Gallion, A.J. Laguerre Jr., and Angela Carr.
This is so unreal. Oh, God.
Carr's daughter, Ashley, says her mom was an Uber driver who leaves behind 3 kids and 16 grandchildren.
She's touched the lives of hundreds, if not thousands.
Today, President Biden meeting with civil rights leaders commemorating the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington.
White supremacy is a poison.
Police say the gunman legally purchased the AR-15 style rifle and handgun he used, and that he had no criminal record. That was a teenager. He was held for an involuntary mental health evaluation.
What he did is totally unacceptable in the state of Florida.
At a prayer vigil, Governor Ron DeSantis faced boos from the crowd after previously drawing backlash over efforts to change Black history teaching standards in Florida's public schools.
Today, the governor announced the state would set aside $1 million to beef up security at Edward Waters University.